Welcome back. If you are seeing this video, it means you probably came from the hexagon video to look at a pentagon. This is the second video in the series of the 3 that I'm going to do. So for the pentagon, I'm also going to indicate to you 2 methods to draw the pentagon. One is with a protractor, which is considered to be the easier one, and then one is going to be a 3-circle method, which is a bit more complicated, but you can do it without a protractor. You only need a compass. So let's start. Here we can see a small pictorial view that has a base of 30. So I'm going to make the first drawing, the one that uses the 72, I'm going to use a base of 40 millimeters. For the circle method, I'm going to use 30. So I'm going to start by drawing a baseline here, a construction line, and I'm going to measure 40 millimeters on there. So 0, 4. That's the baseline of the pentagon that you see here. The angle that you have here is always going to be 72-degree angles. Even if it's turned, it's 72 down, depending on where you put your protractor. So in this case, I'm going to put my protractor, let's label this point 1, point 2. We are labeling anti-clockwise. Compass goes of my protractor, goes on 1. I line it up with the baseline. So this is where my point starts. Then I'm going to the left hand side and start counting here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72. And then you just make a little dot there. Okay, so you should see this dot. It represents the starting of the line. Number 2, I also need a dot here that represents that point. So I'm putting my protractor in the middle on point 2, and so it lines up with the line, and then I start counting from the right. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So it means 71, 72 is there. Okay, so now I have those 2 dots. Now you can go ahead, use any ruler. It's a 72-degree angle that I have, and you project with a construction line down to the point you just made. Now a pentagon also has 5 equal sides, so you can grab your compass on point 1, on point 2, and then you can cut off that distance, just like you've done with a hexagon. Once you have those points, you use your compass from there and you cut off towards the middle or the apex point. You make a little arc, and where these 2 arcs intersect one another, which is going to be there, that's going to be this point up there, right? So it's 1, 2, that's point 3, 4, and 5. So now you can go ahead and you can draw these lines in. Luckily, with the power of the pause button, you can pause this, work on it step by step. To follow along, you can use any base measurement. I would encourage that you use a different base measurement. In the long run, it's not going to matter as long as you get the practice in. So that is going to be a 72-degree pentagon that I used a protractor with. Now for the one that I'm going to do on the right, I'm going to use a base measurement of 30, and this is going to be the circle method. So this is one that you possibly have not seen yet, but this is the one you can do if you don't have a protractor. So I'm going to measure 30 here in the middle. So that's the base. It's always good to have more tools in your arsenal that you can use and only having to rely on one. So this is now going to be the 3-circle method. So the first thing that you have to do is grab your compass. You put your, let's label this just for reference, 1 and 2 again. You put your compass on point 1 and onto point 2. So basically the base measurement is what you have here. Then you draw a circle. Okay, put your compass on number 2 now towards 1, and you draw a circle. Now you'll see these 2 circles intersect at the bottom here and at the top. So the one I want to do, if the pentagon is pointing upwards, then I would want to use the bottom. If it points down, I want to use the top for the 3rd circle. Right, so I'm using the bottom one here, and it intersects this circle through the middle and intersects the second circle as well. So your compass goes here, and then it starts on the first and it ends on the second circle. Then you draw a perpendicular line where these two lines, you actually did a bisector here. So now you draw a construction line up. I'm guessing that's a time for learners to leave, and then you can have a look at the following. This point and that point is your reference points, which means you take this point now and you bring it through the middle there. So you line it up and you draw a construction line through the middle. This one, construction line through the middle there.